I mean, I've always been inspired by the bands I grew up on, which were a little more politically charged, in some way or another, like Megadeth and Nuclear Assault. All of our lyrics are pretty misanthropic, and it comes down to pointing the finger at people, and overpopulation being one of them. That's been a very recurring theme throughout the lyrics for the past few albums. To me, music is music, and should come first and foremost. Anything lyrical or vocal oriented, even, it's always secondary to me. It's always been secondary. But at the same time, I have this feeling that if they're going to be there, they should complement the music somehow, instead of just being, I don't want to put anybody down or anything, but, I guess just instead of just being some monotonous thing just to have there, just as like a place marker. In the early days, we had it was a little more steeped in our influences, which was, Napalm Death and Terrorizer and more roots, grindcore kind of bands. But I don't think we really carried on with that too much. There's certain formulaic things that we didn't adhere to. And I think that's where the death part came in, the death grind or whatever. Or, it had more death metal-y style vocals, but was still kind of a blur of noise similar to what you found in grindcore, a lot of grindcore or whatever, but I just never thought we never had D-beat parts. We never, it just didn't ever seem to me like too much of a grind band, unless you think a grind is just intensity, which to me that's not what that means. To me it's more intense punk, to me that's what grind is. And I just felt like we were always a little more steeped in metal than punk. I mean, the first two records, Human Jerky and Homivore, were attempts at trying to play death metal, I think. Really, bunch of dudes that normally played power violence and grind were trying to do death metal. Is kind of what it was. At least that's my opinion. So To Serve Man, I think that's, and when we signed with Metal Blade, that's what we had been trying to achieve. I think a little more the whole time, a little more standard approach, but that got all fucked up when we got Josh, and we decided to just do something a little different. With every record we've done, we've gotten more popular and people seem to like it more, which has been the opposite of what a lot of bands did, especially in extreme metal. Usually it's the first 3 or 4 albums people care about. So we've had a weird history as far as that goes. And I think that's helping craft our records, You want to outdo yourself in a sense, but it can't be forced at the same time, You can't let that just ruin it, because that'll ruin a record, and I think. With every lineup change, I felt we got better, I would assume that'd be the point of doing a lineup change, or when somebody's not working out and they move on, to find somebody better or whatever. Being a drummer has helped in all sorts of ways, but as far as finding Dave or finding the next better guy, or whatever. I hate to put it that way. I'm not trying to put anyone down or nothing, but obviously it helps, because you know what to look for just by having done it for so many years. Any musician should start out being a drummer to get that rhythm that people, I think, naturally have, but it needs to be unlocked through learning about it, I guess.